All right, I'm gonna do a couple more puzzles. Just started a random one. See what we can get ourselves into. All right. Blah 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 blah. We are even on material. Okay. My opponent takes a pawn. So what can we do here to impact? Hmm. Okay. I've got a tactic right here. Booyah. I go bishop to h3, puts the king in check. He has to take the bishop, and then rook takes on d1, right? Hot dog. Hey, first one down. Let's go. Take two. Let's go. Let's go. All right, we are threatening here. Even moving out of the way puts us in danger there. Moving out of the way here puts us in danger here. Hmm. No, because he can just take there. All right, what do we have? What do we have? Let's see. For starters, I could take here. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. For starters, I take here. My opponent would then either have to do something with this or drop a piece. So I take here. My opponent takes here. I take bishop on a6. Or I take knight. Bishop can go anywhere, right? Where can the bishop go? The bishop can... No. Bishop has to go back. So I take on a3. Bishop drops back to d7, at which point I can then move my knight out of the way. Another option would be if he could take with his rook, but I still pick up a piece, so I'm up a piece. All right, that's two in a row. Let's see what we got. Moving on. So my opponent just took a piece. He has got two pieces to one. So right now my opponent is up a whole piece. Let's see here. First things first. My first thought was put the king in check, and it forks the queen. GG, too easy. All right, next one. Let's see here. Boy, this is a weird opening position. Look at these pawn structures, man. Wow. We are all kinds of blocked in, though, everywhere. So the only thing that really could happen would be something like this. So let's take a look. If I take here, he takes here. So we take pawn for pawn. Does that really do anything, though? Oh. We come here with check. Let's see. So queen to a5 with check. But my opponent can just block here. And then the queen has to run away. Okay, so that really doesn't help much. Oh. That rook is trapped. That's interesting. That rook is trapped. Can we... Do I have enough time to... No. Because if I move this pawn, if I move my g pawn and try to get my bishop along this long diagonal, as soon as I move that g pawn, my opponent can then move their knight to the wing, or here even. And no, and then yep, then I get my, so it goes pawn, knight, bishop, rook moves, so the rook is saved. So, but if I do it first off, yeah, I think that's the move. Yeah, there's no way to defend along this diagonal. Wow, that seems a mistake, doesn't it? Hang on, let's look at this. Why would I move knight here? Because queen just takes on c3 with check. What are you gonna do? Defend with the... Oh, then you're gonna defend with the bishop. Right. Which then protects. So then I just move the queen out of the way somewhere. Okay, so yeah, defend with the bishop, which puts pressure on the queen, and notice the rook is now covered. And one piece, a piece and a rook for a queen is not quite good enough. So probably just bring the queen back to here, honestly. Right? Get the heck out of Dodge. Probably what I would do. Alrighty. Let's do another one. We're only 5 minutes in. We got time for another one. Alright, so we're putting pressure on the queen, on the pawn. Blah, blah, blah. This pawn is putting pressure on my queen here. So I'm always looking at checks. What can a check give me? Because when you put your opponent in check, they have to respond. And that one move of tempo, forcing your opponent to respond, can sometimes be enough to change the flow of the game. So if I go here though, there is nothing. My opponent just moves, and then I can go here with check. Then my opponent can just move their king again, and I really have nothing. All right, let's see. If I take my queen, sometimes on these puzzles we have to look for the queen sacrifice. So if we move queen to d7, that's threatening mate, but I think all my opponent has to do is move their king here and note it. No, because mate is still on the same square. So if I were to threaten mate, is that fast enough? So queen to here. No, because queen to here is not sufficient. All right. What about rook up? So queen to here, rook up. Then I can just go here, rook down, and you end up in a draw. Okay, what else do we have on the table? What else do we possibly have? I have a light square bishop, which is not really going to help much on these diagonals. I'm really just considering this move here. I can't think of anything better right now. The problem is, what does that open up? That opens up check, and then we trade everything here. At the end of the day, it is a rook to a bishop. It's got to be the best move, right? Okay. That I wasn't expecting. Now it's a queen trade, and I go up a whole piece. So that was pretty straightforward. All right, do we have time for one more? Let's see, one more. All right, material on the board. Whoops, material. Come on now, material on the board is black is down a piece. What are the pawns looking like? Up one, up two, down one, down two. So pawns are even. Alrighty, let's take a gander here. Can't go here, that square is protected. So rook to the h-file is protected. Queen can't take, that's protect. Oh, but rook to the h-file does threaten checkmate. Does it? No, it does not threaten checkmate because my opponent can squeeze out. I was thinking, so this is what I was thinking. Rook to the h-file. Bishop takes, that leaves an undefended queen. So I'm trading a rook for a queen, and I'm happy with that. But that doesn't look to be it. Bishop. Bishop. No, because this square is defended, so even if he does nothing, what am I going to do? Take? And then takes back. And it's still defended, so no. Let me see if this is actually checkmate. So that's check. My opponent has to scramble away. King can still scramble away. And notice I don't even have this because then the king can take back. Actually, I don't even have this because the king can take. Okay. All right, what else do we have? What other tools do we have available to us? So I'm looking, if I push the pawn, pawn takes, rook takes on e1, rook takes on e1, and this is still defended. Okay. I feel like it's got something to do with this x-ray here. All right, let's see. If I take here, there we go. If I take the pawn, if rook takes pawn with check, notice my opponent's king cannot go anywhere. Those squares are all covered. So he has to take it back with the bishop, thus leaving the queen open. Boosh. All right. That was another good streak there. Oh, and I figured out that, notice this hasn't updated until he hit next puzzle. This will then update. That's not true, it didn't. Okay, never mind. That was, I, for some reason, thought that the last puzzle I did where I was complaining about my streak not appearing, well, you know, let's do this one. Let's look at this one and see if our score updates here on the end like we think it will. All right, we have to start from the beginning. Material on the board is even. 3 pawns to 3 pawns. Okay, so my opponent is threatening here, but that's covered. All right, so let's take a look at what we have available to us. That is not a protected square, so I'm the black piece. So if I were to take there, my opponent could just take back. So we don't want that. What if I were to go here? Use the king as a weapon. If the king were to go to that square here, to g5, the knight could run away. The rook could... Yeah, I'm thinking this is looking like a good line here, doesn't it? So if rook takes with check, then I can just take rook. If I were to go here with king, notice it's a double attack. That's what we always want to look for. So if the king is here, rook takes, I take. No. Rook takes, pawn takes. Yeah, I'm really liking this move. Let's give it a shot. In this case, I think we just take. Now, the question is, so he took a bishop, so I take a king. He has to move this knight. Does he have squares to move the knight to? Yes, he does. So he does have some squares that he can move the knight to safely. That's okay. Okay. And then this update. So, yeah, I don't know why in the previous puzzle series it showed that I got that first one wrong when I clearly got it right, but oh well, it happens. Okay, so it's possible that it may have been a repeat of a puzzle I had done previously, and the first time I did it, I got it wrong. So it's possible that I had seen that puzzle before at some point in time and got it wrong. Maybe. I'm guessing. I don't know. Does it really matter? I don't think it matters. Alrighty, guys. Well, that was some puzzles. We're on a hot streak. One of the things I love about doing this is my puzzle rating has shot through the roof. When I first started this series, so this is video number 11 or 12, I think 11, on doing these puzzles. When I went back and looked at my first video I did, I was at a 1200 rating, and now I'm squeezing towards almost a 1500. Look at that, 1485 puzzle rating. Look at this improvement that I've had over the last several games. So just working with them and talking through them with you guys has been a tremendous help to me in ways that I can't describe. So notice I can't take. I don't know why I'm doing another one. I should have stopped this video a few minutes ago. Goodness, can't help myself. If I were to go here, that puts 2 attackers on this. And if he defends, then I'm happy taking. But what happens if he just gets it the heck out of dodge? What if he were to come back? He can't go there for it to be in check either. Am I really going to give up my puzzle rating right now by screwing this up? See, that's what happens. That's what happens, man. You get cocky, right? You get cocky. Nope. Nope. I don't know. What if I were to go here with check? Notice the king can't come here. The king can't come there. He could come here. Can't go there. So the king could go here or anywhere backwards. Oh, right. Duh. So I go check. He has to respond, and then I take. Ah, phooey. So there goes part of that rating. But still, I'm still well over 1450, and I started at 1200 when I started doing these puzzles. So I am very happy that I've been doing these videos. This training has really helped me. Talking through it, taking the time to sit down and do these puzzles and see these patterns, it's making me a better chess player. Alrighty, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.